Okay, so we know that quadratic relations have a degree of 2, which means that the largest exponent, when you expand it on the variable, is 2. If it's an exponent that's larger than that, is it quadratic? If the exponent's larger than 2, is it quadratic? No. Linear relations have an exponent of 1. Remember, if there's no exponent there, we can imagine that there's a 1. So we're just going to go through this together. A, show me. Linear, thumbs up. Quadratic, thumbs down. For question A, is it linear or quadratic? Show me. How do you know? How do you know this is linear? How do you know? What's the does it have an exponent of 1? The degree is 1, right? There's no x squared term, so it can't be quadratic. The highest degree is 1. If there's no exponent there, you can imagine that there's a 1, right? Anything to the power of 1 is still the same thing. This one will be quadratic because the largest exponent is 2. This has an exponent of 2, and this one has an exponent of 1, which is fine. The highest degree is 2. Okay, what about C? Is it linear, quadratic, or neither? Linear. Excellent. It has a y and an x, and the exponents are 1. Okay, this one has a degree of 1. This is not in slope-intercept form, but it's still linear because it has a degree of 1. This one, it's not in the form y equals mx plus b. It doesn't matter, though. Okay, let's see D. Raise your hand if you think this is linear. Who thinks it's quadratic? What do you notice here? It has a 2x in front of a bracket, which means that I have to distribute this. Remember this? What is 2x times x? 2x squared. What is 2x times 9? Positive 18x. So, remember I said at the beginning, you have to write it in expanded form in order to figure out the degree. So what is the degree of this equation? So is it linear or quadratic? Good. Quadratic. Degree is 2. Okay, what do you think for E? Well, let's try. We have x plus 2 times x minus 6. We have to do that first. Those are the brackets. That's what we're multiplying. Okay, so we're going to leave this negative 3 in front of the bracket. What is x times x? X squared. What is x times negative 6? Negative 6x. What's 2 times x? Positive 2x. What's 2 times negative 6? Negative 12. Am I done expanding it? No. I can multiply, or we can simplify this actually, right? I have like terms. So I'm going to keep this negative 3 outside the bracket. X squared. What's negative 6x plus 2x? Negative 4x plus 12. Let's expand it some more. I'm going to multiply this times that, and that. Sorry, I should have, it's supposed to be negative 12. I made an error. Sorry, this is a negative 12, right? Okay, so negative 3 times x squared, negative 3x squared. Negative times a negative is a positive 12x. Negative times a negative is a positive 36. Now that it's expanded, what is the highest degree? So is it quadratic or linear? Quadratic. Okay, this one we don't even have to expand it. Do you see an exponent in question F? What's the highest exponent there? So is this quadratic or linear? Quadratic.